Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to I think it's part 7 of the Monday Marathon e-waste processing series. 2 boxes this week from the local charity shop. They leave it for me every Monday. They put anything in here they don't want to deal with, mostly electrical. Sometimes I get other weird stuff. Let's unpack this and see what we got. Plus I've got a few things to flip to see if I can make some money on a few purchases I like to challenge myself to do each week. And on top of the big tub is a jewellery cabinet. It's probably 1970s or 80s. They're pretty cheaply made. Sometimes they have a music box in them. This one just has a little hanger for necklaces at the top, mirror at the back, I guess rings in the bottom there. So that turned up, little magnetic catch. I have a feeling that one I actually picked up out of their rubbish bin. They'd put it in the rubbish bin. I did buy another one though, that's in here too. So I like to try and buy something, but I also keep an eye on their bins, both their scrap metal bin and their rubbish bin, because quite often I can save things from going to the tip. This item here was in their scrap metal bin. So fairly impressive looking candelabra. It's a cheap silver plate. It's probably only a die cast type metal. May even have, oh no, I think it's a die cast base, it's not plastic. So they're not good quality at all. But to my mind, that should not go in the metal bin, and I think I could probably get $10 for it in the shop without even giving it a polish. One of the arms may be bent. Doesn't look too bad. So that's much better than scrap metal. Okay, while we're going with these things that I'm going to try and flip, or at least rescue and sell that aren't electrical, this is the one that I did purchase. This was $5 in the shop. It has little drawers for jewellery. Nice and clean. A little door here for, I presume, necklaces or something. Yes, oh, it actually opens right out. So it's quite an elaborate one, this one. A hanger there for necklaces. Another drawer at the bottom for trinkets. Little mirror. So cheap and nasty. They were giftware items. They may have been through Copper Art or any of the giftware places. It's whoops, the drawers are falling out. It's probably Chinese made, or might be a little bit older than that. I better be careful, it's falling apart. Maybe in the 80s. It could have been made in Taiwan or somewhere like that. So I reckon I'll try and just triple my money. I'll put 15 on it. I think I should be able to sell it for 15 pretty easily. Quite a useful little dressing table piece of furniture for jewellery. So we'll get those out of the road and we'll have a look at what e-waste we got. Okay, let's keep going on this big tub. It looks like in this bag, which is no good, unfortunately, because we do reuse these bags. I think it's Christmas lights. So we'll tip those out in a minute, because I think that's all they are. In this plastic bag we have, looks like some sort of home massager, possibly with a heater as well. It looks in reasonable condition, and there's some other fittings for it, so we'll test that out. Hopefully we can get, at least $5 for that one, assuming it works. Here we have what is this? It may be an oil scent, a warmer for aromatherapy or something. It looks like that, but I don't know how you put the oil in. I'll have to check that out. I really don't know what that is at the moment. A big item here, this is a pressure cooker, a fairly modern pressure cooker, or a multi-purpose cooker. Looks in reasonable condition. So we'll have to check out that and see if it works, because that will sell, I'm sure. Oh, it looks pretty good inside, nice and clean. The cord's with it. Alright, well, hopefully that one works. So that's pretty well cleaned the big tub in no time at all. What's in this one? A shaver. Looks like a cordless shaver or hair trimmer or something like that. We'll give that a bit of a look in a minute. We have some headphones. They're probably Bluetooth ones. There's no cord on them. Be interesting to see if they work. Probably a cheap brand. Yeah, they're Anko. We seem to get a lot of Anko now, so that's a Kmart brand. Probably won't be very expensive ones at all. Oh, has it got a place where a cord plugs into it? Might be a recharging port. Alright, we'll check those out. If they do work, we might get 5 for them. And one of these things, I get these quite often. It's a double, well, it's a power pack with a remote switch, and it has an outlet which is always on, and then a power saver outlet, so you can plug your TV, audio, gaming and DVD into the power saver and turn that on rather than having them all sit on standby all the time. I've never had much luck trying to sell these. I don't know what they're worth to buy new. Can you still buy these sort of things new, or are they a bit outdated? I'll have to check that out. I know I've got 3 or 4 of them in the shop already at only $3 each, and they haven't sold, so we might give them away. I'd rather not throw them out if they're quite usable. They might be freebies. Alright, that finishes that tub. Let's see what's in the rest of it. Let's tip this bag out and see if it is all Christmas lights. It certainly looks to be. Oh no, we have a phone. Alright, that's just a household cordless phone. Not much value there. And Christmas lights. Oh, a little funnel. Well, that's not electrical, and I don't know what that's for. A very small funnel with a little tube on it. Maybe for filling your iron. Might have come with a clothes iron. Not sure, but that could have a bit of use in my workshop. Never know when you need a small funnel. And we have more lights. These are much older lights in this bag. Oh, maybe not that old. They still have the sleeves over the pins on the plug. So I guess we can see if these work. Again, I'd rather give them away than throw them to e-waste. They're not really worth much at all as copper wire. So we'll check those. If they work, we might just give them away. So that's the end of that bag. Unfortunately, that bag was torn. Can't do much with that one. All right, we have another bag here. What's in this one? Oh, more of these things. That one doesn't have a remote switch on it. Neither does that one. Oh, there's the switches. All right, they obviously just plug in. So we have 4 of those in total. And in the bottom of this bag we have some cutlery. So that's certainly not electrical. Well, that's a large spaghetti claw. What do you call it? It looks like a claw. That will probably go in our $1 utensils box. And the rest of this cutlery is probably much the same. It's all just stainless steel stuff. Oh, these are splades. So they're a part spoon, a part fork, and the edges are beveled so that you can kind of almost cut with them. So they're a multi-function tool, and they sell okay. Tool, I should say, utensil maybe. There's a couple of sets of them. If they're complete sets, we might get some money for them. Long teaspoon. Right, I'll sort them out. Basically, our standard cutlery, we just have a box at the shop for stainless steel ones. We have a box for 3 for $1. And a lot of the campers buy them. We have a lot of people camp around here, and campers often forget their supplies or come in for basic stuff. So 3 for $1. And if we get the silver plate stuff, which we don't have any here, we do sell at $1 each. Now, I call them stainless steel, but in essence, most of them are magnetic. So they're not worth very much to take to the scrapyard. If they were non-magnetic, they would add up to a bit of value, because non-magnetic stainless steel sells pretty well. But I'm better off selling these as what they are, as utensils. That's all that's in that bag. That's like a padded material. That'd be handy as packaging for eBay. It's quite thick, foam type padding. I'll use that as packing. Okay, I might as well finish this last box while we've got a mess on the bench, and then we'll sort it out. This is looks like a subwoofer. A powered subwoofer with inputs. Maybe it's got its own amplifier in here. I've never had much luck trying to sell surround sound stuff. There's a lot of cords with this one. Oh, this whole box is all surround sound stuff. Okay, so that's our subwoofer. We have little speakers. It's Logitech. Maybe the whole kit will sell okay. Yep, there's 4 little speakers and the subwoofer. And all the cords to go with it. Whoops. So I'm going to, I think I'll just tidy up the cords. I'll put the whole lot in a box and try and sell it as one kit. Oh, there's another speaker there. So that's the center speaker. got a bit of blue tack on it when it was obviously stuck to the top of a TV or something. We'll clean it up a little bit, and I think we'll put it back in this box and sell it as one surround sound system as cheap as we can, really, just to get rid of it. So I don't find they bring very much money. So there we go, just cleaned up. I've tidied up all the cords and it presents quite well in the box. I presume it works. Everything looks undamaged, but I haven't bothered trying to hook it up to something and test all the speakers because all that takes time. I'm happy for a really quick turnaround, and hopefully someone can put it to use, even if they just buy it for individual speakers. I'm just going to put $10 on that whole lot, put it out the front of the shop. Hopefully it goes. So minimal time spent. I'm not worried about the return, but I just don't want to waste a lot of time doing these deals. All right, I've had a look at the cutlery here. There's only 3 of those proper splades with the beveled edge. These are different ones, and there's a couple of different brands. If it was a set of 6, I would have asked at least $10 for them, but I'm just going to leave them all in with the average stainless steel cutlery for what we normally sell them at 3 items per dollar. This one will go in the $1 utensil box. Now, there were 2 spoons that were non-magnetic, so they are stainless. And these little scales I picked up in a recent unboxing, very handy. So they weigh just under 100 grams. That represents around about 30 cents at the scrapyard for non-magnetic stainless steel. Given that I can get $1 for 3 through the shop, I'm just going to put those in. I'm not going to worry about separating them. I could throw them straight in my scrap bin, but let's put them in with the cutlery. I don't have a lot of stock of that at the moment, and as I said earlier, we do sell quite a bit of it to campers. So that sorts out all that. I'm not going to write down any value for that, but it could add up to like about $5. So we've got $10 in the kitty so far if we sell that. Let's check out the Christmas lights. They'll probably be freebies, but let's see if they work. Got to juggle a few things around on this bench to test them. Now we'll try this older looking set and plug it in and see if it works. Oh, there we go, it does. And this box must give you different options. It says press. There we go, it gives you different sequences. So they work fine. Looks like there's the odd one missing, but it doesn't seem to affect their operation. Yeah, there's a couple missing, and some of them don't seem to light up. Did we have the red ones going? No, so only some of them are working. Not sure what's going on with that. Just check the wiring here. Everything looks okay there, but for some reason some of the lights aren't working. So I'm thinking these might just go straight to e-waste. People aren't going to want lights where only half of them work. So we'll turn that off. We'll get a little bit of value back out of a small piece of the cord, just the mains power wires, but I'm not going to try and chop all these other wires off. So we'll just remove these ones from that little control box and pull them through. We'll chop the plug off. So there we have a little bit of wire for our wire bins, and this part can go to the transfer station. Okay, let's check these. Oh, we've got a few sets in here, I think. We've got a few lots of plugs. So that's going to be fun to sort out. Let's power one light up. So that set works all right. There's even some spare globes in this one. Can we separate them easily? Okay, so that's separate. So only a little set, but they work fine. I don't actually feel like untangling all these, so we might just plug them in one plug at a time. So that one works. Here's another plug. That one works. Another plug. And they work. All right. And there are numerous spare globes amongst them. So we have 4 sets of these Christmas lights. And I am just going to put those in a box at the shop for free. If someone could get some use out of them, fantastic. I'm not going to try and sell them. And also, it's just past Christmas now, and who buys Christmas lights in February? I don't know. But someone might take them for free if they're planning ahead for next year. Okay, I've just done some checking on this, and I was right, it is actually a aromatherapy, I think it was called a ultrasonic diffuser or something. It's quite oily, and these things were sold through, I think this is a party plan type company, Larive. It's very dirty, it's quite oily, and it does smell a bit of, no, it's not bad, it's one of their aromatherapy oils, I guess. But it does look rather stained, so I think that'd be pretty hard to sell. And also, given that they're party plan things, probably not overly expensive, even though you probably had to pay a fair bit through the party plan system. But I'm just going to take that straight to the Ewaste crates at the transfer station. I will hang on to the power pack though. It's a 24 volt DC power pack, so it's a bit unusual. I'll keep that because I may have a use for that down the track. I save all these power packs, and I often have people coming into the shop after one that they've misplaced, or the dog's chewed the cord or something. So I do sell these power packs for $5 each when people need them, but quite often I actually find an appliance that needs one. So 24 volts a bit unusual. We won't value it, but I'll hang on to that one. And this can go to e-waste. Rightio, next in the system, I checked out these things. They are basically a power saver type system where, as I explained earlier, they just help reduce the power of appliances and things being on standby. They're around about $30 Australian to buy new. I think they're an Australian invention, these ones. I don't know if they're marketed overseas. I did see some on eBay sell, but it surprises me because I've never had any luck trying to sell them through the shop. But I'm going to get a box of these with their switches and put them out the front of the shop at $2 each and just see how we go. I'd like to think I can sell them at that. Of course, people probably need to know what they do. Maybe they've got one and want another one, but I'll put them out the front of the shop for $2 each. I don't want to throw them out. I don't think there's any value in them scrap metal wise. I do have one here without the switch, so maybe we could pull this apart and see exactly what's in it. So that'll give us 3 of these to try and sell, and we'll hopefully get $2 each for them. Not much return there really. I haven't eaten up the cords, but you know, if we can keep them still in circulation, that's all the better. Next, what was this? Was it a shaver? I think it was. Visage cordless hair remover. Okay, so salon style. All right, well, I guess we can see if that works. I'll check them out. I'll see if these are expensive ones or not. Has a little power pack with it. We'll see if it charges up. That's all that's in the bag, I think. Oh no, we have another fitting. Another couple of fittings. All right, so we'll see if that powers up and we'll see if it works. And I'll check out if that brand is actually worth trying to sell secondhand. I'll also check out these headphones. Remember, they were Anko ones. And the massager looks pretty good. Looks nice and clean. We'll see what they're worth. What brand was that one? Home Medics. Okay, we'll check that one out. So I've given this little gadget a charge for a while and it works fine. Runs really, really well. Charged up to 40% pretty quickly and it seems to be holding, so it works okay. I did look up Visage. These cordless hair removers are very cheap. I think they were like $20, $25 brand new. So we're not going to get very much for it. We might just try $5 with the power pack and the bag and the other heads. People might be hesitant to buy something like this because it's obviously more of a personal care product. You can just unclip the tops and you can give them a boil in hot water if you want to, just to make sure that they're sterile. But it's a shame to throw out something that's perfectly good, and you know, the battery seems okay. So we'll just put $5 on that and see how we go. Now we need to plug this massager in as well and see if this works. Put it in the appliance tester, and it has a heat function. Yep. So it has a 2-speed vibrating head, and it has other fittings for it as well. And it has a heat function, which I think that was on. Oh yeah, it changes the color of the light. So it goes to red. It should heat without vibrating, maybe not. So I'll make sure that warms up. It appears to work fine. Long reach one, so maybe good for those tight spots in the middle of your back or something, especially with the heat. I did look up the price on these. I didn't see a new one, but I saw some second-hand ones on eBay selling for around about $25 to $30 plus postage, and every one of them I found sold. So they're obviously still have a demand. Yeah, I think that's warming up. It's a bit hard to tell. They don't heat up like an iron does, but they just, yeah, there's a little bit of heat in the middle there. Okay, so that works fine. It tests out fine on my appliance tester. So we might just put $10 on that. Someone should grab that with the other accessories. It's in good condition. It's nice and clean, so we should get $10 there. Now, as for this pressure cooker or multi-cooker, it's a Casera brand. I had to look online, couldn't find anything similar. Well, I found some similar ones, but not the same brand. So I'm not really sure how to use the things, but it obviously can cook lots of different stuff. Rice, chicken, fish, soup, vegetable, meat, cake. Oh, even a cake. It's nice and clean in the top section, but around the edge of this part, it's quite dirty. It's obviously just in the design that's a bit hard to keep clean, but inside appears all right. So I could probably even get a toothbrush in there and clean that up. The rest of it looks fine. Now we need to know if it's going to power up okay. So we'll plug it into the appliance tester. Okay, back to the front panel. Let's power it up. Well, there we go. All the bells and whistles and lots of pretty lights. Okay, how are we going to check it? Well, I'm not going to try and cook something, but it certainly seems to light up how it's supposed to. Select. Okay, there's different programs. How do we pick them? I'm not sure what that's telling me. Maybe that the lid wasn't closed properly. Cancel. Does it just have a timer? I just want to see if the element warms up. Oh, that's a presetting timer. 30 seconds. Maybe that was cancel. Okay, I clearly don't know how to use it. It looks like the safety switch works, as in when the lid's not closed properly, it flashes. We didn't do an earth test on it. I should have done that. My mistake. Yes, it passes. So it's fine as far as our appliance tester goes. I just don't know how to use the thing. It's quite dusty on top. I would expect that it's in operational condition. So I'll probably offer it for sale with a money back guarantee if it's faulty, because these sort of things are usually purchased by locals, not by tourists. And I think I'll just ask $20 for it. I think they're upwards towards $200 to buy new for any brand of this sort of multi-cooker. So at least we know the safety switch on the lid works because it makes the display flash, but I can't actually see. Oh, it is warm. Okay, something I did must have warmed it up. So the element works. It looks like all the control panel works. I'm just going to clean up around the top. I'll turn it off. Oh, well, I'll unplug it. And we'll just give it a bit of a clean up because it is a bit dusty on top. I'm just going to ask $20 on it, and whoever purchases it, I'll just say, look, I really have no idea how to drive it, but if you have any problems, bring it back. So I reckon that's the best way to do it. Okay, the last couple of things. Remember, this phone was in one of the bags. Well, they're not really worth anything for scrap as far as pulling circuit boards out of them. They're just too small. They're most of the weight's the battery, which is the back. Oh, and there's a lot of bad corrosion there. So I'm going to throw the battery pack into my bucket of batteries to go to recycling, and that can just go into the normal e-waste. Not worth any money there. Now the other thing we had was these headphones. They are Bluetooth ones. I need to charge them up. So I looked it up. It does have a 5-volt input, so like USB power. I've got one of those chargers at the shop, so I'll test those, but we'll assume that they work as far as this video goes. And I'm just going to ask $10. See how we go there. They're cosmetically fine. They look nice and clean. And if they don't work, I'll cross them off the list. In the next episode, we'll just have a quick talk about them. But yeah, I'm assuming they're going to charge up okay and work, and we'll just ask $10. I think they were probably $40 odd new. Okay, with everything processed, let's turn our attention back to this thing. This is our sacrificial power saver plug, and we'll pull it apart and see what's inside it, just so we know for future. Just looking down these screw holes, there's a couple of standard Phillips heads, but then there's some security screws. and they don't look like ones that I've actually got a fitting for. Wonder if we can get them out. Sometimes the right size flathead will do the trick. It looks like they're the ones that will do up with a flathead, but you go to undo them and the screwdriver doesn't grip. They've got tapered edges. So they're definitely one way. They're not designed to be taken out. Alright, I don't think that's going to work. Let's take the two Phillips head ones out, and then we'll look at perhaps visiting the anvil with a big hammer in one hand. Alright, so there's one normal screw in that corner and one normal one in this corner. I don't know why they just couldn't put normal screws in. Alright, so there's the two other ones left, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get those out. Alright, so I'm going to take this to the anvil, give that corner there a sharp thump, and we'll do the same to this corner, and hopefully that's all we need. Okay, that may have been several thumps, but we got there. In fact, I don't think it broke the other one corner off anyway, but we can force it open now. Okay, a little more force did the trick. Alright, what have we got here? We have a decent sort of board in here. Has a relay, a transformer, a few capacitors, little chip on the board there, but nothing terribly exciting. These are, I think they're MOVs, metal oxide varistors, or at least one of them probably is. They're a safety component. So yeah, quite a compact little board, but really not much value for a scrapper. How's the board attached? It's just got some clips. It's got it. I'm going to trim these wires off here. So there's our little board. It's only a low-grade board. It can't go as mid-grade because of all the dead weight on it. The relay will have a small coil of copper in it and little silver buttons on the switch. Transformer will have probably copper wire in it. I might just break that transformer off. It can go in our transformer bin. And rather than get it off the board, I was just going to break the board off from around it, but it's a pretty tough board. Wonder if we can lever it off easily. No, it's not surface mount. The terminals go through, so it's well and truly stuck on there. I don't think I'm going to fight it, you know. Why wrestle with that for a couple of minutes for the sake of about 2 cents of transformer value? And I don't really want the relay either, so yeah, not much on there at all. Nothing that I would want. The rest of it is really just the sockets, a little bit of wire. I guess we can clip the wire out while we're here. Well, let's pull the covers off. So there's a reset switch, a little bit of brass there, a little bit of wire, but really not much of value. I certainly wouldn't pull one of these apart again for any scrap value. A little bit of brass. So we might as well pull them all out, seeing so we're here. And then we do have the pins from the plug. So a bit more brass, nickel plated brass. There's a plastic casing. Of course, for these to go in the brass, we really need to snip the plastic sleeve off, which are usually fairly brittle, but it's not, unless you're a micro scrapper, it's really not worth mucking around for such a tiny bit of brass. Okay, we'll gather all our brass and see how much we actually got. Same with our wire. And the reset switch, I don't know if they're necessarily saleable. I haven't really tried to sell them. I can't imagine too many people wanting to use them. So I'll just put that in my e-waste bucket. And we'll get rid of the plastic bits. And that's all we got out of this little switch, is a circuit board with a transformer and a relay. A little surface mount chip there, but you can't really put that in mid-grade boards unless you break this end off, and it's not worth it. Tiny pile of brass and a tiny pile of wire. So anyway, at least we know what's in them. Well, regardless of any value, it's always fun pulling something apart to see what's in it. But now that I've done it, I won't be pulling one of those apart again. Hopefully we can sell them for a couple of dollars each. If not, I'll probably have a free box for them and hopefully people use them. Rightio, we've got everything assembled on the bench here, ready to address the notepad. Prices as mentioned for that's electrical stuff. As I said, I'll let you know in the next video whether those Bluetooth headphones work, and if they don't, well, obviously we'll subtract that. Jewellery cabinet, I thought I'd go 5 for the one that was, can you believe it, in the rubbish bin, and we'll try and get 15 for the other. We'll try for 10 on the candelabra, so $30 there, 61, 91. I didn't include the cutlery, we might nearly get about $5 out of that. I didn't include the charger, which I'll use somewhere down the track. A little bit of scrap. What else? I think that's everything. Oh, and yeah, the Christmas lights we mentioned as free. So almost $100 of value here. And, you know, it's not about the money, as I always say. In fact, it's really not worth my time. The amount of time I put into doing these and cleaning stuff up and testing and tagging them, because I will put tags on all the electrical stuff. It's not really viable, but it's nice to have a bit of a return. It's nice to get you guys a video. And we'll check back and see how the sales go. Now, on that note, let's have a look at last week's. This was last week's, and I did ask you guys if you wanted to see the previous week's, and the overwhelming response was yes, we like to see what sold. I won't dwell on it all the time, and I won't go back too far, but I'm putting it at the end of the video, so if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. So what have we sold from last week? Well, a lot of it didn't get put in the shop as soon as I got there on Friday, so it hasn't really had the full 3 days of sales. We did sell that wireless charger and sterilizer, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, I didn't get to sell that stainless steel strainer. And someone suggested, I forget who it was, I'm sorry, but someone suggested my girls might like it for their cafe. I sent Jess a text, and sure enough, she said, that would be awesome, thank you. So my $1 spent goes to helping the girls out. So that's all right, at least it found a new home. All right, only one item from that list. Let's have a look at the week before. Part 5 has seen the Sunbeam food processor sell, the Anko kettle sell, and also the helicopter, the toy helicopter. We got 10 for that. And as most of you know, Christine claimed the sheepskin boots. I'm going to keep and use the modem at the shop because it's better than the one we got there. So a little bit of stuff's gone from this one. The steam cleaner, someone messaged and wanted it put aside for them, but they didn't come back. So that only spent probably 1 day in the shop, maybe 2. And then it got put aside. So we'll put that back in next week and hopefully find a buyer. Part 4, we only really have one of those cane lamps still available. I've dropped it to 5 and the blue bottle's still there. I'm going to disregard the slide projector on these lists and any vintage stuff because I like it sitting in the shop, and I've often priced it up a bit higher. I don't have to liquidate that quickly. That's more than happy to keep them in stock. The stuff I want to move fast is the average electrical stuff that doesn't really fit in with antiques or collectibles. A quick look back further to part 3, we did sell a set-top box on eBay, and we also sold that Soundcore clock radio. That was the one that you needed the Bluetooth app to operate. So I haven't even mentioned that in my, well, I haven't done another eBay video since then, so I'm pleased that that sold. So we pretty well cleared almost $50 for both of those, so that's really good. The what else have we sold since? The other Love Neon Light has gone, dropped it to 5, so that's sold. The pink lamp sold, the waffle maker sold. Still got a couple of other things here. They're probably going to be free next week when I open because I just want to get rid of the older stock. And we sold the 70s lantern too. So most of the stuff from that list has gone. Way back to part 2, there's hardly anything left. There's the LG phone, but it's not very well displayed in the shop. I want to actually set up a little cabinet for vintage phones, so I'm not worried about that one as well. The Nintendo Wii just went this weekend. I haven't even, oh yeah, I've circled it. And, oh, well, what else? Just the Panasonic shavers sitting on eBay. So, oh, and the toast rack. But, you know, that's only a couple of dollars. I might put that in the $2 box. We have a $2 discount. Doesn't really matter. So pretty well, I don't think we need to check back to part 2 again. Pretty well we've cleared up everything that I wanted to discount quickly and move on in that one. So that's great. We'll put a line through that, actually. I don't need to come back and check when every last thing's sold, but we'll just pan through the previous few weeks each time, just for interest's sake. And if we have a look in this tub, this is all I'm taking out to the e-waste crates. So really, from this pickup, we've managed to save just about everything. So thanks, guys, for sitting through another Monday marathon. I enjoy processing the e-waste, and a few of you have said you love these videos. In fact, a couple of people have said, make your videos longer. Well, you know, marathon for me is about 30 minutes. We'll see. Some of them might go longer. And if you haven't got time to sit down for that long, you can always watch it in parts. So thanks for watching again. We'll check back next week with another few boxes of whatever I pick up, and we'll see how this stuff is sold. We'll see you then. Bye for now.